In 1841, there was an essay written so influential it made my favorite philosopher of all time, Henry David Thoreau, leave society to live alone in a cabin. This essay is called Self-reliance, and after reading it, I too have decided to do the same. In this next chapter of State of Mind, I'm no longer traveling by motorcycle, no longer staying with families or exploring this country I've fallen in love with. Instead, I'll be here for months, living alone in a cabin in the mountain region of Colombia to dedicate this part of my journey to the contemplative life. But what exactly does that mean? What do I have to gain from being out here alone? What is self-reliance, and what did Thoreau mean when he said, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived."
All the things that I do, it's like it's just my wild side. It's just the state of mind. It's just my wild side.
There's one region of Colombia I just fell in love with. The people, the climates, the town, the nature, it had everything that I love. I made a friend who owns a farmhouse in this region, and as of today, it's not just a farmhouse. It's also my new home.
All right, so I guess I've officially moved in here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous. I'm starting to now just kind of think, why am I here? You know, why am I doing this? Why am I living alone in complete solitude when the nearest pueblo is over an hour away? I guess that my answer is Thoreau. He wrote my favorite book of all time, Walden.
I think this book impacted me so much because of what it represented. This was the art of philosophy. One man living in a cabin in the woods, learning from the life of the individual. He writes from wisdom drawn from nature. He finds lessons in birds, in rain and snowmelt on his doorstep. It was unlike anything I've ever read, and I always dreamt of someday living the same story. I guess that day just came sooner than expected. So Francesca, the owner, just showed me around the place. We had breakfast this morning, taught her how to meditate, you know, the usual. She told me that her property is actually huge, but she wanted me to explore it for myself. So I'm gonna go see what this place actually looks like.
We got guajaba, we got borojo, we got guanabana, we got plantains, we got cilantro in the beds, we got mango, we got a mango tree, we got an orange tree, we got a cacao tree.
When he has obtained those things which are necessary to life, there's another alternative than to obtain the superfluities, and that is to adventure on life now, his vacation from humbler toil having commenced. Here's a reason for being here. For nearly 4 months now, I've been meditating the reggaeton beat. Now, that's not intentional. Colombian cities are just so loud, and staying in these $4 hotels every night means super thin walls. Staying with families means listening to whatever music they're listening to. I'll still be meditating for 3 hours a day, but now I have so much more time. I have silence. I'm here alone mostly just to learn about meditation, so it's probably what I'm looking forward to the most. Of all ebriosity, who does not prefer to be intoxicated by the air he breathes?
I'm kind of worried about the heat. This place is just bricks with a tin roof, so, it gets super hot in here. The doors are open all day long. There's a ton of bugs. There's the same one of those blood-sucking bugs that we found in the Amazon. So, I am covered in bug bites. I don't really have a good space for meditating. That's one. And honestly, I might get lonely. I have no idea. I definitely could see, like, the first few days here kind of being sort of rough. Yeah.
However mean your life is, meet it and live it. Do not shun it and call it hard names. It is not so bad as you are. It looks poorest when you are richest. The fault finder will find faults even in paradise. You may perhaps have some pleasant, thrilling, glorious hours even in a poor house. The setting sun is reflected from the windows of the almshouse as brightly as from the rich man's abode. The snow melts before its doors early in the spring. I do not see but a quiet mind may live as contentedly here and have as cheering thoughts as in a palace. So philosophy says that there's the active life and the contemplative life. I could very easily illustrate the importance of the active life. Philosophy, it's alive. It's in the streets where Socrates was. It's in social progress where Simone Weil was. It's in university halls where Jose Ortega Gasset spoke. But the other one, it's not so easy to explain. I think we can begin with the Greek concept of kenosis. Kenosis is the unification with fundamental reality, the source. Confucians call it the open center. Buddhists call it the pedestal of awareness. Taoists call it the ancestral earth, the yellow court, the mysterious path, the primal opening. It isn't just what's here, it's what's always here. But if it's always here, how do we see it apart from anything else? What's the method of study for fundamental, unchanging reality? Perhaps the facts most astounding and most real are never communicated by man to man. These are the voices which we hear in solitude, but they grow faint and inaudible as we enter into the world. He who would gather immortal palms must not be hindered by the name of goodness, but must explore if it be goodness. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. This is, of course, Ralph Waldo Emerson in the essay Self-reliance. He's saying that integral, meaningful search for life can't be reduced by searching only for what's good. That's limiting yourself too soon. Instead, what if we journeyed through what we didn't know and uncovered what greatness there might be? With a little more deliberation in the choice of their pursuits, all men would perhaps become essentially students and observers, for certainly their nature and destiny are interesting to all alike. To be a philosopher is not merely to have subtle thoughts, nor even to found a school, but so to love wisdom as to live according to its dictates. Somehow here, it feels like I'm in control of every second of the day, and I've never felt that before. This really is like living a completely new life. There's a lot to explore here. This is just the beginning. I'm living in this cabin for the next few months to learn about what can't be taught. And I'll let you know what I find.